Here we go again. It's a beautiful morning, and I'm gonna be working in this package unit, rooftop unit. I came the other day and I found some issues. They called me that this unit wasn't working, so I came up here and opened that door right there and verified what was going on. Something that I did notice was that the compressor was kicking on and off. So I opened that door, and this is what I found. You'll be able to see it from here because I haven't taken them off yet. And there he goes. There's no blade. The blade is actually down there. And I didn't check because I never saw this one running either, this blade. But I know there's two compressors in this unit, and I haven't really checked if they're in the same circuit or it's two circuits, and if one blade or one condenser motor turns on with one compressor and the other one with the other compressor. I'm not sure. I haven't checked. I need to verify that. But still, I ordered me two motors. Right now I got one up here already. The other one I left it in the van. But I'm gonna go get it after I replace the first one. But so far that's what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be replacing two condenser fan motors, and I'm gonna have to go back to the supply house because I forgot to take the information from that blade, and I didn't even take the information of this unit neither, so to see if they could have helped me with that. So I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna just take these motors, the bad motors out, and put the new ones in. Then I left one out, just ready to put a blade on. So I'm gonna go to the supply house and I'm gonna take the blade so I can get another one, the same kind of blade, and replace it because that one's broken, the one that is on the floor. But this is what we're doing today, guys. It's a beautiful morning, clear sky. It's not super hot, super humid. Usually it is extremely humid here in Houston, but today it's actually kind of comfortable. So I'm gonna open this door. You know, that's where all the wiring goes in there, and I'm gonna take those motors out. I'm gonna check this first motor first before to see if it's actually bad or not. Because if it's good, I'm not gonna replace it. But the other one for sure, I'm gonna replace the motor and I'm gonna replace the blade too. We're gonna do both things. Even if the motor is good, I think I'm still gonna do it. And then another thing that I noticed is there's a lot of oil right there, so I got a leak somewhere, so I need to find the leak in this unit as well. But today we're gonna talk about the condenser fan motors. You know, something basic and simple, but you might be new in the field. You might want to know how to replace condenser motor and how to check if it's good or bad. So I'm gonna show you that in this video, and I hope that will help you out. So let's get it going. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna take this cover off, and for that I'm gonna be using a 5/16. I'm gonna be using my Husky 15-in-1. I've been having some comments in another video where I show this 15-in-1. Some people cannot find it anymore. Actually, I found me another one at a Home Depot, and that was the only one left actually. And I meant to make a video of it, but I haven't, just to give an update about this tool right here. But you know, hopefully you can find it. This is like one of the best tools, or the best tool so far that I like from Husky. Yes, Husky. But some people having a hard time finding them. Even myself, if I look online, and I live in Houston area, and there's a lot of Home Depots around, and you cannot find it, and even probably the last time I checked, I only saw like 2-3 Home Depots around the area. They only had like 1 or 2 on each store. And I don't know if the Husky's still making this one or not anymore. They're only selling whatever they have left, but I'm not sure. If you can find one, hurry up and get it, because they go fast like hot potatoes. So let's take those screws off. Like I said, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take those 5/16 screws. This unit only has 2 screws on. Oh well, that's what I'm gonna take off. So let's get it going. So we got that cover off already. It was only 2 screws, 5/16. And now you're gonna have another cover, you know, and this one also has 2 screws, 2 5/16 that I'm gonna take off. That one, another one right there. And that's where all your electrical stuff is gonna be at. But this will look on the inside. It's an old unit. It takes R22. So if they wanna keep this alive, that's fine with me. That's their choice. I'm just here working on whatever the client asks for. That's what we do. That's what all the furnace stuff is at. But this is what I was talking about. There was a lot of oil. It's a lot of oil. I have a feeling my leak is gonna be somewhere here. I'm gonna check this. This is where I have a lot of oil on my blade. There it is. That's the broken blade. So next step, let's take this off so we can check where the motors are connected, and we can disconnect them and check which one is good and which one is bad, so we can get them replaced. All right, so let's take this cover off now. All right, so we got the cover off right there, and this is where all your electrical stuff is. And before I can continue, it's really important for me to mention that before you do all of that, before you take those cover off, it's really important for you to have your disconnect off. And you know, don't try to open that stuff up when there's power on, because you don't know if a wire is touching ground, if the wire is touching one of those metals, you know, or when you're trying to take a screw off, something can happen. You know, something you put a little pressure on it, maybe that piece of metal could touch a live wire, you know, and you don't want those kind of accidents. And that goes for everybody. You know, if you either you're new or you already got a lot of experience in this job, sometimes by the years you start feeling a little confident, you start feeling a little good, and you don't pay attention to those little details, and that's when accidents happen. So you, like I said, you start feeling comfortable. That's what I mean, comfortable. That's when the most of the accidents happen, when you start feeling comfortable and you're no longer careful on every detail that you're doing. So have that disconnect off, and later if you need to troubleshoot with power, then you can do it after you already took all the covers off. But yeah, here's where my electrical stuff is at. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna identify where our motors are connected. You can either go to the, I don't know if this one, the diagram is still alive. So you cannot even see the diagram no more, so blank. But if you had a diagram, you can either go through the diagram. I don't think this, yeah, there's no diagram there. Either go through a diagram if you still have one, or just go up by the wires. You know, this is my wires for my condenser motors over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna follow. I got one black for each. So this is black and this is black. So these are my 2 black wires. So these are my fans. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna identify my fans. which one is which one, and I'm gonna check and see if I get the right readings on my multimeter. That way I know which fan is bad and which one is not bad. Some of y'all that are watching this video already know how to do all of this, but if you're new on the field, this could help you out, so I can show you. Like I said, this is my black wires from the condenser motors, and I think on these condenser motors I only have 3 wires. I do. I have a black, a yellow, and a brown, and the brown usually is for your capacitor. And here are my capacitors over here. And this is where my brown are connected. And the yellow, they have the yellow one going to the capacitor as well. And then another wire, I have jumpers over here. Let me check that out. I have another wire, and I imagine going to one of these, not contactor, but most likely to the relay. Not the relay, the contactor, or the common side of the line, the power, the supply. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna disconnect them so I can identify which one is to which one, and that way I can take some readings with the meter. Like I said, always verify you don't have power. Have your disconnect off if you're gonna put your hands in this. And even if you put your disconnect off, before you touch anything, I recommend you to verify if there is power. Like I said many times, we feel confident, we feel comfortable, and that's when accidents happen. And it happens a lot. It has happened to me where I feel comfortable, and next thing you know, I almost touch a live wire, and I'm thinking, wow, something could have happened. You can either get one of these and just make sure there's no power. You can also check with your meter, which will be more accurate. So right now, see, I don't have any power, nothing. So seems like we're good. This is my lines, the ones that are coming from my disconnect, so I can check here. See, no power anywhere. Yeah. All right, so let's continue. I'm gonna disconnect those wires so I can take some readings. All right, so I already disconnect some wires, and I already identified one of the condenser motors. All I did is I separate the wires, and I see which ones come from where, so that's easy to do. All you do is, in this case, it is easy because I have a view where they're coming from. Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes you have to trace them, especially if you don't have a diagram. Sometimes if you have a diagram, you don't have to trace them. You can look at the diagram and have an idea or identify which wires are to which motor. In this case, I don't have a diagram, and it's really easy because I have a full view right here where the condenser motors are, where the wires are coming from, so I don't need to look at the wire diagram. That would be a waste of time. So what I did is I have these 3 wires, and I pull them to see where they're coming from, and this over here, right here, see, they come from the blower all the way in the back, the one that is missing the blade. So what I'm gonna do now is I put my multimeter, and this is probably something that they show you in school. I'm gonna put it on ohms, so I can ohm this motor and see if it's either in ground, or if it's not giving me the right readings, if it's open or short. So let's take some readings. As soon as I see something open, I'm gonna stop right there. I already know my blower will be bad. So let's start with yellow and and black. I hope I can do it because I'm holding the phone. I got an action camera already at home and I keep forgetting it. So I'm gonna try to put it in my stuff before I come to work so I can start recording live videos while I'm replacing or changing or doing something. So let's see if I can do it. This means the movement that you might see when I'm trying to put the leaves in there. So you might see my hand too close because at the same time I'm holding the phone. So okay, I got my 2 leaks and it's reading 64.4 yellow to black. It's all pretty high actually, I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is, I got a little nut pad over here, but I'm gonna write it on the over here on the side so you can see. I'm gonna write black to yellow equals 64.4. Now I'm gonna do yellow to brown, because I believe this means yellow to brown, and I got 40.2. Let me put an L over here just to make sure I know it's black, and then brown, BR, to yellow equals 40.2. And now I'm gonna do, if I already did black to yellow, brown to yellow, I'm gonna do black to brown. Yeah, black to brown now. Black to brown. And I have 42.3. Black to brown, 42.3. So what are we gonna do now is we're gonna subtract. What are we gonna subtract? We're gonna subtract the highest numbers, which is gonna be 64.4 minus 42.3, and that should give me brown, the number for brown to yellow. In this case, just by looking at the numbers, it's not gonna give me that. So I think this motor is shorted, and if I check it to ground, doesn't give me ground. And check another leg. I think if it was ground, it would have already gave it to me in one leg. And it doesn't give me ground either. But I think it's shorter. Why? Because the numbers, if I subtract the highest numbers, it should give me the last reading, and it's not gonna give it to me because 64 minus 42.3, that's what, 18 something around there. The 60 minus 40, that's 20, you know, and then I have 6 more, so 4, 2, 22, that's 22, it's around 22, but I should be getting in the other reading, and I'm not getting that. So I think that motor is gonna be short. So let's check the other motor out. Okay, so I already disconnect the other motor. It's right here. Put a tape on this one so I don't mix them. Have these ones together. So let's check the reading for the next motor. Like I say, dismiss me if I put the camera too close to my hand, or when I'm trying to put the leash in this thing. So there's one lead, brown to yellow. And this one is open. This one is not giving me no reading. So I know this motor right here, it's open, and this one is that one right there. that is open. See, OL should have gave me some reading, so I'm gonna do it brown to black now and see what happens. See, brown to black, it doesn't give me any reading. No reading. That's that motor right there. No reading. So this motor is open, and I have one motor open and one motor that is short, that is not giving me the readings I should be getting, the correct readings. These are the readings for the other motor. So I already knew those readings are kind of high, and I might be wrong, but I don't know. They seem a little high to me. If I subtract that, like I said, I get like 20 some, but right now I'm getting 40.2. That's not the correct reading. So I'm gonna replace both motors. Good thing I did bought both of them. I have one already here. I have another one in my van. So I'm gonna replace them both and see how it goes. Just keep watching this video, and I'm gonna show you what the next step is gonna be, which is gonna be taking the motors off. Got my ladder over here. I'm gonna take these covers. Next step is to take those covers off and pull the motors out. All right, let's do this. All right, so the next step, like I said, that we're gonna do is I'm gonna go put the motors off. But I wanted to mention something. You know, if you don't want to be struggling later trying to find out where those wires are supposed to be connected, especially when you don't have a diagram and then you're gonna have to find out how this thing works, it's really important that you mark your stuff or you take a picture before you start disconnecting something. You know, that could help you out, not having to struggle when you're putting new stuff up, new motors. So that's what I did. You know, I put a wire over here. That's where the yellow wire was for my motor, and I know these are for my capacitors over here. Now I'm pretty sure my capacitors are gonna be replaced for sure, but I'm almost sure in my new motor I'm not gonna have just 3 wires. I'm gonna have 2 wires for the line and 2 wires for the capacitor. So that's gonna change a little bit. I will explain how it works. So I'm gonna explain that how it's gonna work now. Because now I'm gonna have 4 wires most likely, 2 for my line and 2 for my capacitor. But let's go with the next step, which is gonna be pulling those motors out. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take all those screws off. I didn't bring my drill. I should have brought it, but I don't want to go downstairs and get it. I forgot, but it's not that many screws anyway. So anyway, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this out and get going. All right, so here I am. I already take them off. I have them on the floor right now. I don't have to worry about taking the blade off of that one because it already came off by itself. This one I gotta take it off. I'm gonna use my crescent wrench to take that little key off, and I put some WD-40 just to let it lubricate a little bit so I don't struggle taking that blade off. There's ways to take it off. Sometimes it will just come off smoothly depending on how rusty and old the blade and the motor is. Sometimes you might need a puller for that. I don't have a puller here with me. Actually I don't have one in my van. My co-worker has one, so if it's hard, which I don't think it's gonna be hard, it don't look old, I'm gonna have to call him. This one is the one that is open. That one is the one that is short. Not only that one is short, that one is bad already. The chaff and bearings, I think, are bad already on it. Because look at this one. This one don't move at all. Like, it doesn't move at all. And look at this one here. Look at that. So that's not good neither. So I'm gonna replace them both, and I'm gonna go get a blade I don't know, this blade doesn't convince me neither. I might be replacing both blades. I'm gonna take these blades out, and I'm gonna take them to the supply house and get them. So let's take the blades off. The next step is on the other side. There's 4 screws. I'm gonna put some WD-40. Usually those screws are 1132. So I don't have to worry about it. I got my piece right there, Husky, which has all the sizes that I need. I have 1132 there too. So let's pull them out. Okay, so I already took both of the motors off, and I have the new one right here that I'm gonna put in one of these. I have the other one in the van, and I was gonna put both of them and then go get the blade, but if I'm already gonna go downstairs, I'm just gonna go put this one in, and when I go downstairs, I'm gonna go straight to the supply house and go get the other blade. I'm gonna take this blade and I'm gonna compare it to the new one and see if this one is okay, because I don't know if it's too twisted or not. So I'm gonna check the other one and compare it, and that way I'll see if I need to replace that one as well or not. That blade actually came off real easy. As soon as I lose the key, it slide out easily. This motor right here, like I said at first, this one comes with 4 wires. So it comes with 5 wires, 1 ground. But the ones that are gonna go to your power supply and capacitor is actually 4. 2 for the capacitor, the brown one, this one with the white line, and the other one that is solid brown. And then you have a white one and a black one. And then you have this over here. This is to change the rotation on your motors. I like to get this kind of motors because I like to be able to change the rotation. That way I don't have to worry about if I got the right motor or not. But if you don't like that, and you want to get just the motor with the right rotation, you can also do that. Just make sure when you go to a supply house, you know the rotation of the motor. Where would it tell you the rotation of the motor? It's gonna tell you on the what's it called? Right here on the nameplate or on the information, whatever you want to call it. It will tell you the rotation. In this case, it's right here, rotation, ROT, and it gives you an arrow going that way. That means your rotation, the way you check your rotation, you stand behind the motor, never in the front, behind the motor, and if the arrow is that way, that's where the clock goes. So that's clockwise. So your rotation is a clockwise rotation. If the rotation was to the other side, that's counterclockwise rotation. In this case, you got a clockwise rotation. So when you go to a supply house, make sure you get a clockwise rotation if the rotation is where the clock, as the clock goes. If it goes the opposite, it's counterclockwise. Anyways, another way to find out if, let's say, this is fade out, is with your blade, the way your blade was. So in this case, let me show you. This blade was like this, okay, like this, not like this. Okay, in this case the blade was like this, and the motor was facing down. It was upside down, if you want to say it like that. So that means your blade was like this, and not like this. So if your blade was like this and your air needs to come out through here, your air has to come out through there, your blade has to turn this way, not this way. So if it has to turn this way, let's say I'll put it like this in front of me, it has to turn this way. So see, I can see that it has to turn clockwise. It's kind of hard for me to explain it with one hand, But if I could get a little distance and record myself doing it, that would be better. So hopefully you're understanding. So the blade will be this way and it has to turn this way, which is clockwise. That's another way to know your rotation. Anyways, but if not, like I said, another good option is getting a condenser motor that you can switch the rotation with those two wires. All you do is, you see how here's yellow to yellow and purple to purple. All you do is you put one purple to yellow and one yellow to purple, and that's gonna switch the rotation. That's because it's a single phase motor. If you had a three-phase motor, then you can just switch wires on the three-phase motor, the line wires. But anyways, I always like to get the dual rotation motor. That's why I ask for when I go to a supply house, so I don't have to worry about none of that. All right, so let's continue. All right, so I got one in already. Put a new screws on. Like I said, sorry, 1132. You might think, oh, how do you know? Those are little things or details that you start learning with experience. As you start getting familiar with your equipment and AC. So that's how you know that it was. You're gonna know that it was 1132 without even trying anything yet. You know, little details like that you learn with experience by the years. When you see a screw, as soon as you see it, you can already tell what size it's gonna be, because you start getting familiar. Your mind start getting familiar with all the AC equipment, tools, parts, etc. But anyway, this is the new motor. I put my ground wire there. That's where I'm gonna change the rotation. I put the protection right there so the wire won't peel off with the metal. Make sure you always put all this stuff back, all the protective stuff. These wires are kind of short, so I don't know if they're gonna go all the way. I'm gonna have to probably use some of the old wires. Maybe just for the one that is farther away, not for the other one. But anyways, I'm gonna go to the supply house now, bring the blade so I can finish this job up. We'll see you in a little. Alright, so I just came from the store, from the supply house. Got me the other motor. I already had it in my van, so I got it up here. And I got me the blade. This is the closest thing they had to it. So we're gonna put this one in. And that other one is good. I checked it. It seems like it's pretty good. So I'm using the other one. This is for the new blade. So let's get it going. I'm gonna put in the new motor and then I'm gonna put the blades in. I'm gonna put back my condenser fan motors. That'll be my next step. Like I said, some of the wires, they're kind of short. Not sure if I'm gonna have issues with the one that is closer. Might not have to put extend the wires on this one, but that one over there, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to. Because the wires to these motors are kind of short. So let's get going. to get this back on running. I think it's 2 circuits. So at least if I can have one circuit going while working the other one that is gonna have a leak. So that's gonna be, that job is not gonna be part of this video. So this is for condenser motors. So let's replace those 2 condenser motors now. I'll put that one in. All right, so the motor's ready. Same process. One over there. This one is gonna come over here. All I gotta do now is I gotta put the blades on. Got the blades over here. This is the new blade that I have. I gotta put this on the new blade. So this is the only closest blade that they had to what I currently have or had. So what am I gonna do is an adapter that I'm gonna put on, and on that blade, as you can see, the key is underneath. So I'm gonna do the same thing I put underneath. So this is gonna go right here, and then I'm gonna put 3 screws that this key comes with. These are the 3 screws right here. 1, 2, 3, and this one comes with 2 keys. You can either use both keys or one. In this case, I'm gonna use both because this blade is a little bit heavier, so that's a lot more protection. So use both. It comes with both. Use both. It's better. That's gonna be the next step. I'll put the blade on. Actually, sitting down right now on my ladder. The weather is not that bad today. Like it's making a little noise. Hopefully everything's okay. Those are my capacitors. So let's put the blades on and keep this video going. All right, guys. So I already put my motors in with blades and everything. They're in there. And you might ask why you have those wires sticking out like that, because I'm going to check for rotation. But look at how beautiful they look. Brand new blade, brand new motor. This one brand new motor. The blade's not bad. I only got 2 screws in each grill. Reason of that is because I said I'm going to check the rotation. After I check the rotation and I verify they're good, and I take the screws off again, and I'm going to lift it up and strap those wires inside to the protective thing. You don't want to leave them hanging because they do touch the blades. So that's why you cannot leave them hanging like that. It's not safe. So I'm going to check rotation, lift the grills up, and put it back, put those wires inside with zip ties. So these are my blades, my motor, looking good. So next step that I have to do is put in my new capacitors. You always want to replace capacitors when you replace motors. You don't want to call back, so just change everything you can to avoid any calls back. So this time, like I said, on these motors I have 4 wires instead of 3. I got 2 wires for my capacitors and 2 wires for my line or my power. So what I'm gonna do is I identify. I already took these capacitors off. These are the old ones. I think they got a jumper on this one because of the common side of the motor. So what I did is my common is this one, the yellow one, and I already pinpointed it's over here, or not pinpointed but found it. It's over here on the relay. This is where on top is where my black wires were, which you can say line 1, whatever. And then they got this one on the bottom. Both of them are normally open. You can see on the diagram on the relay. So this is power right here. This is probably this is hot and this is common. So when you close it, you close the circuit. So I'm gonna have hot on the top and then common on the bottom. So I'm gonna put basically, this is my 4 wires coming from the motor. One of them I'm gonna have to extend it. No, that's not my, man, I know my wires, but no, they're not. So I'm gonna put a black on the top and then white on the bottom where the yellow is. And then I'm gonna put this one on each side of my capacitor. So I'm not gonna have to do this no more, all these that they did over here, because I only had 3 wires coming from the motor. I don't have to do this no more. So I'm just gonna use my 2 capacitor ones, you know, and I'm gonna put them in the same spot right there, you know, the safest place that I could find for those capacitors. And that's how I'm gonna do it. So let's do that, and then I'll give you an update in a little bit of when I'm done, and even after I check the rotation. So probably the next one is all gonna be done. The only thing that is gonna be left to do is that compressor, like I said, has a leak. So I'm gonna isolate that one, and I'm just gonna have one running, put my gauges and see what's going on with that. So let's get it going. Okay, so just a little update of what's going on. Already actually extended 2 of the wires. I'm gonna be using these 2, and I'm taking advantage of those wires that came from the other old motors, because they already have these terminals. So what I'm using to extend them is this right here. And then I'm gonna wrap them around with some electrical tape. See? I have those 2 already, so I'm gonna wrap them around with electrical tape. I'm gonna cut those, and these 2 are gonna be for my capacitors. And like I said, I'm taking advantage that they already come with with the female terminal. There you have it. Looks a little blurry. Hold on. There you go. So this is how it's going, just a little update. So let's finish it up. All right, guys, so I got it going. I already put the wires back in where they're supposed to go. There they are. I checked the rotation already for both of them. They came on, and it was actually wrong for both, so I had to switch the rotation. All I did is remember switching those 2 wires, purple to yellow and yellow to purple. So that should resolve my rotation issues. But this is how it looks. This is my wires, put some wire straps on it. Remember, I had to extend. Those are my 2 new capacitors right there. There you go. And then both of my blowers connected to this relay. This is one, and that white one is another one, and then this black is another one, and this other black one is another one. So this is it. I disconnect one compressor so it won't run because it's empty. Need to find the leak for that one. So this is how it came up. I'm gonna shoot a little video once it starts running, so you can see. But this is it, guys. I hope this video is gonna help some people. Let's turn it back on. All right, guys, so this is it. I got the unit running. I don't know if in the video you're gonna be able to see, maybe not, but they're running pretty fast in the right direction now, both of them. So this is it. Hopefully this video was helpful to some of y'all, and thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe, and I will really appreciate it. And once again, thank you so much for watching. This is Tech Survival. I'll see you in the next one.